check out my book, For Rage to Responsibility, I show you how I was able to overcome anger. The spirit of anger was taken away from me. I had it. And as a result of having anger, I was insecure. I had doubt, worry, fear. I was in a fallen state and didn't know it. And it wasn't until I went and forgave my mother, who tried to turn me away from my father. I forgave my father for not being there and returned back to him. My spirit connected with his spirit, and through him, I was able to return to God. And I have perfect peace. Perfect love casts out anger. And when anger is gone, fear and doubt, worry, insecurity, suicidal thoughts, all of that is gone, and you are free. Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, or if you want an autographed copy, you can go to my website at rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-BOND. I read or heard that some Republicans are starting to pull their advertisements from Google or whomever, right? Because so many conservatives are being shut down, discriminated against, shadow banned, and all that kind of stuff. So conservatives are... Isn't he Mexican?
Colombian.
He calls himself American.
What is this?
Anchor Baby.
And in this corner, it's the American Anchor Baby.
Daddy's home.
That's an offensive term. People find that hurtful.
You mean it's not politically correct? Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby.
You know, he's an anchor baby in Canada.
Tell him we still rolling with Trump, too.
Anchor baby, the whole thing sounds horrific. You're just making it sound like immigrants are these horrific, greedy people.
Ustedes pueden aceptar mi negocio o aceptar las consecuencias. Plata o plomo.
So you would be considered white, in my opinion.
You the blackest one in this room,
I think so.
And what happened was his mama got pregnant on the other side of the border. And then a few hours before, just before it was time for him to pop out, she jumped across the border and let him fall on American soil. So he became the anchor baby. They don't call him the anchor baby for nothing. Amazing.
We like this anchor baby, right?
Hello, I'm the American Anchor Baby, and this is my show. How you doing, folks? Welcome on this Monday. Beautiful, fine Monday. Absolutely a pleasure. Truly, truly a pleasure. How you doing, folks? Thank you for tuning in. What can I say? Super chat already from Lin Yan Chin. Kicking it off on this Monday. We had a nice flight. We landed her. We did our stuff on Friday. You're with me today on Monday. Great church, great episodes on the network. Just batting. Okay, we're rocking and rolling here with the American Anchor Baby. There's some news. There's some news and stuff. I do want to tell you the level, the extent to which Canada has changed a little bit. They call him an anchor baby from Canada. And like many others markers in society, shall we say, like a shopping cart or holding a door for somebody, like these different markers and different things with so much meaning behind them that we are looking at, which now seemingly the mainstream is looking at. They're talking about shopping carts. They're wondering what it all means. They're starting to think about society, and some aren't happy. Some are thinking it. Some are fine with it. Anyways, look, subway trains. There's another marker for you. Didn't they talk about the trains, especially when they debate the communisms? But the trains are so amazing. They were on time. Don't you understand? They were on time. They say, do they say that of the communists or do they say that of the fascistas? Same thing, right? Well, it depends on who you ask. But they say the trains are amazing in Russia. Remember Tucker? With the beautiful train station somewhere in Moscow. It's just another one of these markers. I don't know. I wonder about some things here. You might find some of this footage fascinating. For my Canadians in the chat, we're talking about you. We didn't forget about you. Who cares about the Canadians? What's even happening in the north? Oh, look at that. See, I didn't choose this, folks. I'm showing this to you. This happened live. Is this serendipity? Is that English? Am I using English correctly? Help me out here, because that's a moose. Help me out, because I see a moose. I don't know about you, but I see a moose. What's up, y'all? That's a moose. That is a moose. And I'm surprised because it's a random image on my desktop here. You see it cycles. It changes. It cycles. It moves. Different days, it's different things. I did not plan this. And pretty cool. Jesse is right about the carts. The carts, depends on who you ask. You can say cart or you can say carts, bud. Okay, depends on who you ask. But you say Jesse is right about the carts. And I have my apprehensions to that. But, man, that cucked for grocery store management argument is pretty darn good, I was saying Friday. What was I even saying Friday? I was saying a whole bunch of nothing. Thank you to my callers. I truly appreciate my callers. Dealing with my insanity. Where's Terry? Is Terry in the chat? Such a sweetheart. Dealing with my mess when I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. Okay. Moose. We're talking about the trains and stuff. Here's what's on CNN though. While we get going here. But I was saying something Friday. I can't even remember. I was saying, let me pull it up. Because now I can't. Now I need to know. What was I saying? We'll get to it. Look at CNN. Top articles. Here's what you need to know. It says CNN. You need to know this. And you need to know about these elections in European elections. CNN? European? What's going on here? How is this serendipity as well, or is that another misuse of English? Because I'm seeing poetry happening live. European elections, misspelling the word European. Who did this? Is this DEI? Could diversity have been behind the misspelling of the word European, of the noun European, or whatever? Look, they misspelled it. Far-right parties are projected to win a record number of seats in the European Parliament following 3 days of voting across the EU's 27 member states. Now, I can't even tell you exactly why this is happening, but I heard about this, some sort of snap election, okay? French President Emmanuel Macron dissolved his country's parliament, called snap elections after an EU exit poll showed a historic surge for the French far-right. I'll stop there since I can't even inform you correctly on what is even happening over there. But they call it far-right. They call it far-right, and you know that you got to be a little careful. Because far-right usually means sensible and good, just asking questions here, pretty good questions here. Europe. So, look, Apple, they're talking about Apple. They're putting AI in the Apple. I already told you about this. I already predicted this, not like that deep, but I told you that we're going to be talking to the machines real soon, in fact. Really soon. You'll just be talking to them. You'll be eating your sandwich and doing your Googles with your voice. I can't help but feel a little apprehension when getting way too cozy with my own AI. The people in the office already seeing me eating my lunch while doing my Googles. I'm talking to ChatGPT. I'm just like having a conversation with it. We got to have some maybe a little apprehension is good, right? Maybe a lot of it. Have some awareness when you're talking to the chat GPTs, okay? And then the last thing on CNN, because you need to know the headlines, right? You got to know the news. We're talking about immigration a little bit. So I appreciate CNN here with the segue, because they mentioned immigration in their top headlines you need to know today. And they're securing the border, as you know. As you know, they are securing the border. You can see Biden. He's standing in front of the screen that says President Joe Biden securing our border. You know it's happening. CNN reporting that President Joe Biden is considering a major move to provide legal status for long-term undocumented immigrants who are married to American citizens. Wait, I thought that was already happening. Like, don't foreigners get married to Americans and get a green card and citizenship and a pathway to being an American? Isn't that already happening? Isn't that like a meme? Isn't that like memed at this point? It's like, oh, you sure? Hey, she's just marrying you for this, for the green card, right? What am I not understanding here? What's Biden doing here? Apparently, he's going to be making a major move to provide legal status for these undocumented immigrants who are married to American citizens. Is it because they're illegal? Final details have not been decided. Officials are reviewing an existing legal authority that would shield undocumented immigrants from deportation and allow them to work legally in the country as they seek citizenship. This comes days after Biden announced an executive action that bars migrants crossing the border illegally from seeking asylum. See, there's the securing the border part. With some limited exceptions, if the number of encountered by border agents exceeds a daily average of 2,500, that's when they put the big stop. And if you know a little bit about what's been going on, I might as well remind you. This is just like half. This is half of the proposed bill that the American public was presented after this long drawn-out fight in Congress that involves a certain segment of the Republicans, these holdouts, Freedom Caucus. They say Congress is a mess. They don't care about the border. They don't care about the people. We're going to hold out till we get something done. Finally, doesn't happen, right? Kevin McCarthy comes in. They say, you work for us or we're going to get you out. They get him out. They bring in Mike Johnson. It's the same crap. No shutdowns happen. Everybody's still getting paid. And Ukraine money, Israel money goes. I had to remind you a little bit. And if you remember, the big solution here, the final solution here for immigration with the Republicans, or their latest solution, was something akin to this, something like 5,000 encountered a day, which would be like in the millions a year. We're talking 1.8 million. So let's just have it, right? It's just a million. It's just a little under a million. No big deal. But now the campaign, the administration gets to say, we're securing the border. You have to see this back-breaking Herculean struggle. Who else? Who held up the two pillars? Samsonian struggle. Do people say that? Can it be a Samsonian struggle? Where are my English people at? To stretch these 2 points together, that we're securing the border, but we're also pro-immigration. It's kind of impressive, really. It's pretty impressive. Of course, we're pro-positive immigration, and if you're here as an illegal, but you married somebody, we'll figure it out. But we're going to secure the border, not like these Republicans who don't care. See, we're actually doing something. It's impressive when you think about the politics happening here. Smithsonian struggle? No Samsonianism? All right, whatever. I'm an anchor, baby. So that's a little on immigration. Total politics. And the passport bros, man. I tried telling you the passport bros. You heard me I tried telling y'all. It's just a little bit too messy, okay? I'm not going to judge you individuals, okay? But in general, if someone's going to come to me and ask me, hey, Nick, a little advice, I'm a single guy out and about, and this nice Spanish lady is like, I want a real man, and that's you. You're a real man, and I want you to marry me. Nick, what should I do? I mean, I would tell that guy, well, it's already It's already, ego is involved in the relationships. It's already messy. Doesn't need to be, doesn't have to be, but it's already, people's egos are involved. You want things, right? And people want, and you might think this is okay, and it might be to a certain degree, but these desires and wants obfuscate and control and manipulate. It's just the nature of stuff. And what men and women want from each other is the things that you know: sex, love, mama, a husband, babies. They want these things. These desires and these things are pulling, and why throw in green card citizenship in there, and foreign and a foreign, like a foreign woman who you're just not ready for, man. You're better off with the American woman. Look, you're better off dealing with her and whatever problems she has. Nick, what about 2/3 of Oregon seceding to Idaho? What are you talking about, Lord Spike Protein? That actually sounds fascinating. Is that some actually real news? What are you talking about, Lord Spike Protein? Are you playing around? Oregon counties voting to join Greater Idaho. What's going on here, Lord Spike Protein? Is this white people wanting to be left alone, or what? Yeah, thanks. Oregon counties voting to join Greater Idaho. I wonder what this is about. I might have to look into this. Thank you, Lord Spike Protein. Totally, everything is fake, but it's not all freestyle. Let's get into something here, because I need to say something about my Canadians. My Canada, as an anchor baby, thrown to and fro, thrown over the border this way, over the border that way, wanted, never fitting in yet fitting in everywhere. What a tortured existence. But you know, I know y'all feel bad for me, and that keeps me going. But thrown over the border this way and that way. As an anchor baby in Canada, I was maybe even given this a place in my heart for the Canadians who treated me so well, who treated the anchor baby and his family so well. You know, they were not doing it so up and up here in America, but they decided to go to Canada and do it the right way. They got papers. They did their thing. The anchor baby grew up in nice Catholic schools. He had everything he wanted. He had everything he wanted. Free health care, even that one time where, I don't know, I just started working out. I literally I'm like working out with my buddy. He's been into it for a bit. He's showing me the ropes, and I'm like working out, and it's like not even the first 6 months, and I've already concluded, no, something's wrong. No, something's wrong. Something's wrong. I should be making this many gains at this point. My testosterone's messed up. See, Canada even accommodated the anchor baby because he just wanted to. I walked in, I'm just like, test my testosterone, do it now. They put up a fight, but I was persistent. And the anchor baby's testosteroned up. Can I say? I'm kind of a beast. I'm kind of a wild animal. Okay? Anyways, whole bunch of wild animals in Canada lately. And I want to show you something. You might find this fascinating. I know I did. Canada, diversity. Let's move this whole segment up. And let's see how we do this. Because, there's clips and stuff, and I can't promise that they're exactly bleeped or anything. But let's get into this. Shall I show you this first? Canada. Here's a little bit of what's been going on. And if you know me a little bit, grew up in Canada for some time, born in America, grew up in Canada, and it's changed a lot. And I went to visit recently. And this is just like 2 or 3 years after arriving to LA, right? 2019, I get to LA. I come to America. I go back to visit 2-3 years later, I'm shocked. Square One in Mississauga. Shout out to Square One. Shout out to Saga. Not the same. I'm in Bangladesh, okay? I'm in Bangladesh. I remember my screen is broken from my phone. And I go into a screen repair shop at Square One, the mall in Mississauga. And I go up to the shopkeep, and he's I think an Indian man. He's like, yeah, no, we can fix it. It's a special type of screen. He tells me it's gonna be this much. I'm like, I don't know. I do a little Googling. I come to find out, yeah, not good. Bad price. He was not giving me good price, sir. Best price, sir. Not best price. Okay, maybe I'm a little salty. No need to be judgmental. I love the Indians. I grew up with them. And I have mostly positive experiences. To be fair, I have overwhelmingly positive experiences. Okay? But let's get to the first piece of evidence. The train stations. And did I even say, folks, 888-775-3773. You can call the Anchor Baby, 888-775-3773. If you want to get it off your chest. Nick alienating his Indian fans. I'm alienating the Indian fans, any Passport Bro fans. I just can't seem to control like a filter here sometimes. But okay, we got Canadians. We're in the TTC, folks. I'm happy to bring you to the TTC. I'm sorry it's under these circumstances. I have a place in my heart for the TTC. Ride the rocket. Don't laugh. Okay? That's the motto, okay? Don't laugh. Ride the rocket. The Toronto Rocket. That's not funny. That's my city. And okay, let's just watch the video. Metro in Canada, what do you notice? What the? Okay, for my Canadian, anybody in the chat, if you know, let's be real. Before we make our commentary here, let's be real for a second. Pape Station on a rush hour Pape Station. Wait, let me look at a map of the stations. Pape Station, yeah, Pape, what else? Union, let's go Union. Union Station on a rush hour. Maybe not exactly like this. Even Union Station, to be quite, I'm just going to be straight up. It's somewhat like this, but not quite, okay? This is definitely getting like to Japan levels of amount of people using one subway cart and how many of them waiting on a platform, okay? If you know anything about Japan, they have people they pay, and they have gloves, so you don't get all your germs on you. But they have gloves, and they literally stuff these Japanese people in this metal can. And they just stuff them in. The Japanese just allow it to happen. We gotta go. We gotta get somewhere. The Japan people don't shove, says Carver. That's an interesting point, Carver. We'll get to that. We're breaking it down. Okay, Union Station, Pape Station. Come on. Pretty congested. Maybe not too far from this. Pushing. And here's my thing. You guys remember when my uncle first came to Canada? And I had been an Anchor Baby growing up in Canada a bit already. Some of that was in me. And when you take the subway, when the doors open, you let the people get out and then you go in. That's what you do. Right? The train arrives. Next station, Union Station. The doors open. The people get out. Then you go in. I remember my uncle just shoving everybody, just going in, just shoving. I'm like, Uncle, Dio. Uncle. No, I'm not Jackie Chan. You got to let them go in. You got to let them get out first. Then you go in. And he's like, oh, okay. Next train, we take connecting train. You get on a different subway line for my peeps that know. And he does the same thing. He's just pushing through. Alpha uncle. Obviously, I'm the society cuck, but it's how it's done. I'm just saying, it's just how it's done, okay? Alpha uncle, society cuck, but it was my experience. Okay, they're shoving. The metro's different. Canada's changing. You're seeing it. You're seeing it before your eyes. Canada is brown. Shout out Brampton. Where are my people at in Brampton? Watching Canadians go from the biggest libtards in the world into what they are now has been a wild ride. So this is an interesting thread on Twitter. We got the smart people on Twitter talking about this too. And a pretty interesting collection of thoughts here. You know, this person is saying it supports my hypothesis on surplus male societies because China and India are sending their surplus men, this is this person's theory, to Canada as like a form of colonization of sorts. In Sunni and Wahhabist societies, the concept of jihad is used to get rid of surplus men in order to maintain the structure of polygamy. I don't know about that. That's what this person says. In China and India, they practice selective sex abortions of baby girls and have 35 million extra men each. Wow. If that's true, that's interesting. I wonder what sort of political problem that poses to a government. I wonder I wouldn't even know where to begin with that. I wonder if it poses and what it would be. You hear about some of these societies that you just don't know about. You hear about the grab hags. China has a whole swath of their population that are like immoral and uncontrollable. And these are political problems. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. One solution, at least according to this person, they posit that they are sending them to these countries. And then they share a little meme. The average Canadian big city experience in 2024. Okay. So where was I? Desi racism. Desi. What does Desi even mean? Desi is a loose term used to describe the people, cultures, and products of the Indian subcontinent and their diaspora. See, I kind of knew that. I just wanted to be sure of it. Desi. We love the Desis. You know, I grew up with them. At least a lot in my schools. But where was I on this? Desi, racism. You've seen them protesting. I showed you that, remember? They're protesting in Prince Edward Island and other places because they're kind of switching up some of the rules. And they were expecting a pathway to citizenship, and something's changed. You can maybe understand them. But what I don't get, you can maybe understand those Indians. But nobody even wants to attempt to understand the people who are like critical of those Indians. And then those people are usually critical to Indians and immigrants in general. And nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to understand that. It's like, imagine being the home. The home is always a good example in this case. And a guest in your home starting to get mad because they're not getting the stuff they wanted. It's like, how about you go get it yourself in your own home? That's always a really good, what is it? Analogy, metaphor, the home, and letting them in your home. And then just protesting because, not getting what they want. That's crazy to me. Okay. So here's this. Check this out. They're saying, at least according to this thread I was just showing you, this person is claiming that there is a big rise in rad femmes, radical feminists in Canada, okay? And I may have seen a little bit of that. But that's my anecdotal evidence, just in the chats and comments and even commentary from some of my own friends out there. They are becoming racist radical feminists, according to this person on Twitter. And now I don't know if that's happening, but can I show you a little video? Can I show you a little video? And it might swear, there might be a swear in here too. Apologies, folks. I know the sun is up. But check this out. I only like white girls. Allegedly, they don't really show who it is, but allegedly, an alleged white girl is filming this. And the caption is, was walking to the gym. And yeah, you get some of what's going on here. And now I don't know if it's an Indian man, and I don't know if it's a white lady, but this accent, white, I only like white, there's some maybe evidence, and this person is saying I only like white girls, so let's watch.
Only in white girls, I love the girl like you type. We can start from first 2, 3,
We could start from first or 2 times. We could be friends first. She's clearly not into it. She's trying to walk away. She's saying no. We'll be best friends. You're very beautiful. He's very insistent. I have money. I can buy you whatever you want.
I don't care about money.
She's like, I don't care about money.
No, but I can do everything for myself.
Say, no, I love you. I love you. She's walking away. And then he flips. Are you racist? He says. Then he flips. That's why you're not giving me because I'm brown? That's why. You're not into me? You give your number to, okay, look, I love the accent, personally. You're racist, F you, I will kill you. F you, racist. In fact, we don't even need a bleep. We could just mute it and I could just talk about it. Toronto, man. We're in Canada for this one, folks. We're in Toronto for this one, folks. And she's the video ends with the caption, Toronto men, heart face emoji. Nothing worse than a rejected dude, says Rich, which is very rich. That is funny, man. And it's like, that's already a reality. That's all what the bear versus man people don't get is like that is the world. That is most of human history. Can we like casual violence between men, and of course women get it too, and then and obviously the taking advantage of the weakest of people, from its most visceral and obvious form, physical overpowering, to everything else, manipulation, and you know what I mean? That's already like that. We've sort of built these societies here. Well, not me. I didn't do that. Maybe me putting the shopping cart back is me keeping it going. But, it's a pretty nice to the ladies society. Come on. It's pretty nice to the ladies. Protect them. Okay. That's a female. Okay. Even black people. I seen some video of this crazy woman on the street in New York. You know it was New York because they was bugging. That's what I heard in the video. She's taking a shovel and she's hitting this Amazon driver. She's hitting him like in the head and everything. He gets this shovel away from her. He's about to hit this insane woman. And the people who are filming this are like, yo, he's bugging. That's a female. That's a female. That female is about to go to sleep. Temporarily. And because she's tired. No, not violence. Anyways, look, that's a female. That's a pretty nice society. Okay. And I can see the ladies kind of become racist, radical feminists in the face of this. I can see this happening. Okay. I see the calls coming in. Thank you. 888-775-3773. But I can see them kind of go a little radical feminist. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you feel me. You understand me, hopefully. Okay, talking a little bit about in the Canada, its change. What can I say here? what can I say here? People aren't used to the different. See, a lot of immigration came to Canada while I was growing up, and there are, shall I call it, maybe this is ignorant, but it just seems like way bigger class disparity in these other countries. I'm saying there's no middle class, it seems like. Either they're this low-class immigrant or a higher-class immigrant. And for those in the chat that know, some people are like, oh, you're just ignorant, you're just racist. But for those that know me, I'm quite cultured. I've met a lot of them, and Indians would agree with me. The Indians would agree with me. It's not all Indians. You know, it's not all Indians. I'm still not okay with all this immigration stuff. It's a huge change, and for this anchor baby to be commenting on this change of Canada, can you imagine what it's like for the Canadians that grew up there and are older now? And can you imagine what it's like for them? Because even this anchor baby here is like, I'm seeing all this, and suddenly I'm like, nah, let's pull up that ladder. We're pulling up that ladder. I'm racist. Yeah. No. Enough of that. Kind of like this guy.
Or at least I used to work in tech until recently, until my whole team got laid off. And you know the craziest part was in my exit interview, they go, hey, we're replacing you guys. We're getting rid of the whole team, and we're replacing you guys with Indians. Yeah, I swear to God. I looked them dead in the eye and go, you guys know I'm Indian, right? Like, we can get the rest of these people out of here, but, like, you can keep me around. I'm already Indian. We can get rid of these crackers and replace them with my friends. I know hella Indians are like, no, you don't get it. You're not the kind of Indian we want. I'm like, okay, what do you mean, what kind of Indian do you want? You want me to do an accent? I'll do the accent. I don't know if this would make me a better engineer, but it seems to be what you want, so I'll do it. And they're like, no, you don't get it. We want Indians from India. I was like, okay, sure. Like, I was born in India, moved here when I was 2. My family moved here for the job, but I guess if you want to move the job back there, I'll move back with the job. It doesn't seem like a big deal. Like, no, you don't get it. We're getting rid of you. We're moving the job to India to be done by Indians from India who live there, who will do it cheaper. And in that moment, I turned into every one of your fathers. I was like, these goddamn Indians are taking our jobs.
Okay. Kind of cringe. Look, we're joking around here. We're playing around. This guy sucks. Okay. He's making his jokes. But based ladder puller or no? He could be a little bit more based, right? We could all agree he could be a little bit more based. Pretty much everybody thinks like that. Crackers. Imagine that. Imagine that's just a normal thing to say. Oh, crackers. Like, he's this is what you get a little bit with this importing, and it's kind of been happening. As you can see, he's speaking like he grew up here, and you know, most likely been born in America or Canada, wherever this guy is. But this ease of using that language, I notice, comes with this. It's part of what you import here. I've just noticed. Okay. Okay, where was I? Canada. Okay, look, he's making his jokes. Racism doesn't exist. He doesn't quite get it, but he's starting to maybe get it. He's starting to maybe he's just getting mad about it. He's still mad at the white people. Whatever, he's making his jokes. Where were we? Anti-racism. Let's do this, and then we'll get to calls. 888-775-3773. I only like white girls. We did that. You know, it's just changing a lot. Okay? And that's pretty much it on that. Quick point, I think, on okay, let me see here. Just anti-racism. How do I put this? It just seems like really common. Like, why do I put this? You've heard me kind of try and put this together over, you know, the last week a little bit. And I know we can't know people's hearts. It's not about judging or condemning. But some things are just too obvious. And in this kind of time that we're in, this time of conflict, for those paying attention, it's like total, I mean, you've heard it before. I'm just memeing here, using other terms here you've heard. Clown world. To be shallow here, but you understand me. Just on its face, insanity. In the world with a blind eye, as if they don't see it. And one of those things is you are totally allowed to wish death and hell on white people. Remember this girl?
Every single last one of them.
All white people are racist. All of them are racist.
Like every single individual white person, if I talk to you, you would have some kind of racist ideology.
You have some kind of racist ideology. You remember that one? That's just one that came up on my feed when putting some of this together. That's just one. Totally allowed. Okay, what else here? And we'll get into it more as we go on here. Look, I got more stuff for you here. We'll get into it more as we continue the program today. The only way the problem can be solved. First, the white man and the black man have to be able to sit down at the same table. What do y'all know about this guy? I don't know pretty much anything about him. I've heard some stuff here and there. And I can't say I ever did my homework and did my Googles quite yet on him. I do remember a little bit about him in The Antidote, if I'm correct. I haven't read The Antidote in a bit here, and I can't quite remember, but I'm pretty sure Jesse Lee Peterson speaks about Malcolm X here. Can't say I know too much about him, okay, folks?
You seem to be dissatisfied with everything.
Anybody know about this one? Anybody know about this clip? Again, I don't know. I don't know about it.
With everything. Just what do you want?
I'm not dissatisfied with everything. What you are able to see with your analytical mind is that everything that is offered doesn't produce what it's supposed to produce. And I'm just telling you that it doesn't produce what it's supposed to produce.
Well, what is your ultimate aim?
The only way the problem can be solved. First, the white man and the black man have to be able to sit down at the same table. The white man has to feel free to speak his mind without hurting the feelings of that Negro.
Oh.
And the so-called Negro has to feel free to speak his mind without hurting the feelings of the white man.
Oh.
Then they can bring the issues that are under the rug out on top of the table and take an intelligent approach to get the problem solved. That's the only...
Was this tried? I know I'm just looking at some old footage. I can't disagree with that, specifically what he's saying there. He's just absolutely correct. Feelings. Imagine that. Feelings is probably the source of a lot of this. I can't think of anything else. There's no real problems between blacks and whites. Think about it. What is there between them? How can there be problems? You know what I mean? That can't be solved. Because the only problems that exist, I guess, between people are shallow. Economic, physical, geographic. Like, that can all be dealt with. Okay? And so, again, I don't know much about him. And it looks like older footage. The anchor baby can't help but wonder, was this tried? Was this tried? And then, anybody know how the story continues here? Did they try this? The black man and the white man try and sit at the table. Did it not work? Anyways, we'll get into more stuff here as we continue today's program. Appreciate you being with me. 888-775-3773. Real quick super chats and right to calls. Appreciate that, Amazing Asia. What the? Thank you for the coffee. And says, this happens all of the time in Brooklyn. If we walk down the street and a man tries to rizz us up and get our number and we don't respond the way they want, we get cussed out and or beat up and robbed. I've given my Google number out so many times to avoid the drama. White women always think they're so special. She posting like it's new or rare. That is funny, Amazing Asia. Thank you for your coffee. That's just how it goes down. These Canadians aren't ready. Toronto, it's not like New York. New York has it's had many more years, I think, in my opinion, to, ripen, you know? It's a ripe, smelly, ripe city. Many years to get some of that grime deep in the cracks and crevices. Toronto, a little bit younger. Some people who visited with, some people who may have even seen it recently know this. It's a little bit cleaner. I say because it's just younger. Give it some time. It'll be a New York. These ladies aren't ready. What's happening in Canada in the streets? It's happening every day in New York. You see, you already have male, the male, like, you already have men angry and ego. And now you want to bring Indian ego, which with no, they don't even say that's a female when you're beating them up. At least the New Yorkers, at least the New York brutes say that's a female. Okay, anyways, look, we're messing around. Why are you guys talking about me getting married? Don't talk about that. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, calls, real quick, super chats. Thank you, Amazing Asia. You can buymeacoffee.com/anchorbaby. We got Modern Gentleman. Thank you for your super chat. Appreciate the support. Says, my biblical question this week, do you believe in the Bible or do you believe in God? I feel like we may have done that one on the Jesse Lee Peterson show, but it's nice to have a redo. I don't know if it's a redo, Modern Gentleman, but thank you for that, for the support and throwing that in, getting people to think. I've even had that on my show a little bit. It's a couple callers lately. But the word, and when is it okay to put the Bible down? Interesting stuff. Thank you, Modern Gentleman. Do you believe in the Bible or do you believe in God? For some, that's the very same. For some, that's the very same, and that makes no sense to me. That doesn't quite make sense to me. You know? And it's not coming to me exactly why. Ask me again later. We can get into it. Modern Gentleman or others. Lin Yen Chin with the super chat says, I know you don't trust my judgment since you refused to play the last audio. Oh, wait, what happened? I promise you won't get struck. There is no taboo and 60-second explanation of Mr. Popo's method of mind training like Jesse. Now, I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about, Lin Yen Chin. Maybe I haven't looked at some messages somewhere. But you got to understand the Anchor Babies. If it's not somewhere normal, you know, I'm not getting everything. But I think I know where you may have sent that, Lin Yen Chin. I'll go check it out. We love Mr. Popo. We love Mr. Popo. So thank you, Lin Yen Chin. Okay. Let's see here. Rumble.com/American Anchor Baby. Appreciate the support. And the supporters are over there at dlive.tv/Gorgonzola. Evgeny. We've been saying your name wrong forever. Thank you for the support. Okay, let's get to Zenny out of Canada. You're on the air, sir.
Yo.
How you doing, Zenny?
Good, man. How are you?
All is well.
Nice. Sorry, I saw you talking about Toronto. I just came in just when you were talking about my fair city. So what happened? Like some Indian was harassing a girl.
Well, you tell me. We got a man in the street, ears and eyes on the ground. You've been taking any subway trains lately?
Oh, I try to avoid it by all costs.
And why is that? Did you used to take subway trains?
Yeah, it didn't used to be so bad. I mean, like it's kind of not usually on time. It's not on Japan levels, that's for sure, but there didn't used to be like full-on homeless crackheads on the train, literally trying to smoke their fentanyl in front of your face and in front of kids. Like,
wow. See, I'd never even seen that in Toronto subways, but I remember taking subway trains everywhere, and I was young too. I was a minor, and I was going everywhere. I was going across the whole city to Mississauga to Hamilton. I was going everywhere.
Wow. Yeah, and so it's definitely changed in the sense that like drug use is like just rampant now. We have like a completely leftist mayor, like the most leftist party. Probably, I mean, the Green Party. It goes like liberal, NDP, and then Green in terms of like left, and we're at NDP right now. And it's like I just wanted to call it 'cause, like I'm like
NDP.
Like I'm the canary. Sorry.
No, I'm following. You said NDP's kind of really pushing things now.
Yeah, like we have an NDP mayor now, so that's like left of liberal. That's
the new Democratic Party, right?
Leftist. Yeah.
So for those that don't know, in Canada, the Conservatives are like basically the Democrats here. The Democrats over there are like the Squad and Progressive AOC over here, and NDP. I mean, I don't even know what to tell you. They're like Khalistan supporters.
Yeah, they're full on like just diversity for everything, free drugs, like up the taxes. Let's rename the town square to something that you don't even like care about. That's like this diversity crap.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like I feel like I'm like the canary in the coal mine over here, the Canadian canary in the coal mine, because I'm giving you guys the warning, right? I send you guys all the warnings of what's going on here because it's going to be coming down to you guys next, unless Trump wins. Please, God, let Trump win.
Look, they say about a southern border, but we need to get started. Look, this is a call to action for the Americans. This is coming from the Anchor Baby. A northern border. A northern border is needed.
A northern wall, yeah.
A northern wall.
I wouldn't hate on a northern wall.
You would understand it, of course.
I would understand. Because honestly, in my area, I've lived here for a couple of years. But like even since the pandemic, I've seen it change just like this full-on Latin invasion. Like there's everywhere I go, there's just Latin people speaking Spanish that was not a thing before.
Like on a level, go on.
Sorry, and just another thing I've noticed is that all these newcomers, they have like 1 or 2 kids, and like me, like I don't have any kids. I'm 34, you know. Like a lot of my friends, they don't have kids. Like maybe they have 1, you know. But like these newcomers here are coming here in their 20s with like 2 kids, and they're gonna have more, and they're literally getting benefits from the government. Like it's crazy. Like Canadians feel like second-class citizens. Well, if you have a brain, you feel like you're a second-class citizen in your own country.
Absolutely, man. And you hear that being said in American politics and all that, but I don't know anywhere closer to home where this is happening on such a level that I can't even really report on it correctly unless I do a much longer kind of thing here or even go and show people. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, you got to come.
I might have to do an Anchor Baby in Canada series because people don't know how fast how the bottom has fallen out. The bottom has fallen out, and it's not the same place.
It's over for the white man in Canada, straight up. Like, it is over. Like, in the next couple of years, you're really going to see how bad it's going to get because, yeah, like, the white man and white people have literally no power anymore. Like, it's all diversity. Like, everything is diverse. If you're not diverse, then it's over for you.
Wow, man. Yeah, that's how it goes, though, a little bit. It's just what's going on now. That's all I can say.
That's the only way I've survived is I'm half black. So I just, like, keep my mouth shut sometimes
and
just blend in. And then, yeah, I just, it's got to blend in sometimes.
I hear you, Zenny. Anything else you want to say on this?
No, man, I'm good. I'm good at just venting about Canada. Thanks.
No problem, Zenny. Call me again.
All right, man. I'm going bust.
888-775-3773. It's so over. No. Don't say that. Don't say those things. Okay? Don't just be saying those things. Okay? Life can change really fast. Life can change. That's just a reality. That's not even a cope. Because I'm not here telling you it's going to be okay. Okay? But life changes. Okay? Good, maybe bad, maybe worse. But it changes. Okay? Let's see here. Anything else on this? I think I'm set. Anti-racism. Oh, hey, Terry. Well, how you doing? Thank you for joining the stream. Thank you for calling me on Friday and dealing with my, insanity. She's such a sweet lady. And you are delicate, Terry. But an alpha delicate. Because, not hating. Because of dropping anger. Right? Okay, what else we got? I got something for you on a little bit more trades, Russia. Look, I want to pivot to this, things that I found interesting. And my caller's on hold. Don't go anywhere. We will get to you. 888-775-3773. I've never quite seen it as over. I don't know if I'm being like ignorant or dumb here about the white man. What I'm trying to say is maybe I should stop trying to say stuff. I'll get back to that once it's crystallized. You've seen some of that already. We don't need to do that. Look, they're saying that Putin is claiming Russia is becoming the center of traditional European culture and traditional European values based on Christianity. Alleged quote from Vladimir Putin. I don't speak Russian. I don't necessarily trust this Twitter user, but they put it in quotation marks, and they have a little video of Putin. Okay. And they're saying that Russia is becoming the center of traditional European culture and traditional European values based on Christianity. And on this whole thing on trains and economy, and I even had a caller. And how is it that Tucker Carlson had this segment, if you remember, on Russia and on its economy and on the trains, etc.? If you remember, Tucker was praising Russia for those things, that it was clean, that it was in some respects safer, crime dealt with and all that. It sounded maybe a little bit like, can we call it, not envy, but, envy, like, wow, they have something we want. And not necessarily being mad at them, but Tucker was making that point. Is that fair to say? Tucker was making that point, that these are enviable things that Russia has, that America seems to lack. And how could it be the great liberal free order of the West, the leaders of the world? You get the juxtaposition here and the criticisms that implies on the U.S. economy, government, leadership, culture. You get it. And similar comparisons here with the trains, with other things. I do remember the criticisms from Tucker's segment on that, being that the Russian salary and economy is still not, like, just Russian quality of life in just the overwhelming majority of markers, America still beats them. So for whatever problems we may have, you want to be living here, is what some of the criticisms lobbed at that Tucker segment episode was, and it was fair criticism. That being said, that's where we are, though, where arguments about Russian life are pretty convincing to a lot of people, at least to a whole bunch of them, enough to get people thinking, like, you know what, there's something right about that. That there is, and that Russia has things to envy, like order, cleanliness, and I don't know, like a nice subway system where you're not being pushed. You know what I mean? It brings into question all these things, pitting them against each other. In a similar fashion, pride. Pride is being compared. We are in the Pride Month, and the UK and the West are happily... Sorry, folks. There's a video playing here, and I almost can't even show you this. I know this isn't the Hake Report, and we're not necessarily censoring, but I mean, this is not even the Hake Report. This should just be censored. So I'm not even going to show you. There's no nudity. There's just way too much gay skin here, man. These are all a bunch of gay men. Okay, now this scene changes, and all it's clothed men, and they're in this like puppy attire. It's totally insane. And this is in the UK, in Brighton, and they got the gay flags out, and they're practically nude again. Look, I'm not even gonna show you. We're gonna move on from that, but you get it. It's a pride parade. It's a good old classic pride parade. Just good old traditional pride parade, as you know them. As you know them. And then they juxtapose it with pride in Russia. Pride Month in Russia. And is it LGBT at all? Does this look LGBT to you? This is like almost like, wait, I'm getting like Christian youth, Friday youth night vibes here, folks. My God is an awesome God. He reigns with the heavens above with wisdom, power, and love. You get it. It looks a little bit youth churchy. Doesn't look very pridey. Look, they're comparing them. They're doing the comparison game. Russia isn't this like amazing place. I'm glad to be in America. Look, it's not like this amazing place, but that is the reality we're facing. People are making those comparisons, and it's making sense to people. It's not the same America even. Talking about Canada and all that. So let me show you this to, I guess, make some point here. Like, I'm just talking about the differences and the general ideas people have about these foreign places. You know, we're fighting a war. It depends on who you ask. We're at war with Russia, depending on who you ask. Well, these are this. So what, Nick? You showed us a video of a bunch of young, healthy-looking, not crazy-looking, not shaved head, not paraplegics, not gays, not mentally ill. That they look like normal Russians, pretty young women. We got the young, strong men there. They're all united. Are you trying to? What's the big point here? What's the big point here? Well, check this out. Because it's a war. It's a war that's going on, different fronts, in a sense. Depends on who you ask. We're at war as well, but you know about the Ukraine war. You know about the Israel thing. And a lot of that, if not the majority, from my understanding, the stage, the different theaters are the way they are right now because of American influence. Let me explain my reasoning here. It's simple, and I could be wrong. You could call me and tell me I'm wrong. 888-775-3773. But imagine you were Ukraine, and imagine you led this country, and you loved the Ukrainians, and you believed that Russia is invading you, and this is a fight for sovereignty. This is a fight for, essentially, at the end of the day, the Ukrainian people. So you got to do it. At some point, there's got to be like a change of strategy, no? At some point, when your new Ukrainian recruits, at least according to Clash Report, I can't confirm, at least according to Clash Report, this is the new Ukrainian recruits. At some point, when your new Ukrainian recruits start looking like this, maybe you got to rethink something. Are there going to be any Ukrainians left? Are there going to be any Ukrainians left for this? For this amazing sovereignty? Look at all this sovereignty we have. Oh my gosh, we're overflowing. We're overflowing with sovereignty. And nobody to use it. You know what I mean? Like, I know this is how the Anchor Baby sees it a little bit. Maybe inaccurate. You can call me and bring some insight into the nitty-gritties of the war. But, you know what I'm saying? I keep getting these reports of this age limit being raised in Ukraine. And so you see my point is very inaccurate, just kind of how the Anchor Baby seeing it from a far away view. If you were like that leader, you would maybe kind of rethink your strategy, I'm saying. It's not about accepting defeat. We can never accept defeat. You hear that from our politicians. They cannot accept defeat. What? Are you asking them to accept defeat in the face of... It's not about... Retreat is a viable military thing here. If we're talking about love, if we're talking about sovereignty and the nation and the people of Ukraine, that's what they tell us. That's why we got to be supporting it. I know it's inaccurate, but that is essentially what they tell us on the TV, making us feel for them. At some point, you got to wonder what's the point. You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't you want to change your strategy? Look at Lindsey Graham. Let me show you this clip and then get to calls. Lindsey Graham is such an incredible politician. For someone like me who's been following since 2016, I've gotten a somewhat understanding of what's been going on, a little bit of the saga. You got to know a little bit of the saga. Obama years, even before, RINOs, Republicans, Buchanan. You know, you got to know a little bit of the, I'm getting in there. I've been following since 2016. Lindsey Graham, the whole time for me, has been such an amazing politician, someone who really shows when someone says there is an establishment, there is a deep state, entrenched power, entrenched war hawks, neocons they call them, people who are conservatives and Republicans in name only. You've heard these terms. They're talking about people like this. And Lindsey Graham is such a perfect mouthpiece that collects what they are. These shallow, spineless politicians who are ready for war, ready for action, just hungry for action because it's like glorious, because there's money, because for many reasons. And this whole time, Graham has made no sense, saying that we need a nuke, talking about nuclear stuff, implying different things, talking about fighting till the last Ukrainian, like talking about crazy things, in my opinion. Tell me where I'm wrong, you can call me. So here he is, maybe even talking about what it's really about, what it's really all about. Not the sovereignty or even the Ukrainians themselves. But here's Lindsey Graham, Face the Nation, a little bit on this war stuff.
What did Trump do to get the weapons flowing? He created a loan system. They're sitting on $10 to $12 trillion of critical minerals in Ukraine. They could be the richest country in all of Europe. I don't want to give that money and those assets to Putin to share with China. If we help Ukraine now, they can become the best business partner we ever dreamed of. That $10 to $12 trillion of critical mineral assets could be used by Ukraine and the West, not given to Putin and China. This is a very big deal, how Ukraine ends. Let's help them win a war we can't afford to lose. Let's find a solution to this war. But they're sitting on a gold mine to give Putin $10 or $12 trillion of critical minerals that he will share with China is ridiculous.
I want.
What did Trump?
Money, resources, economic fights. Who's the leader of the world? Who's running things? Security concerns, win and lose scenarios. It's none of this flowery sovereignty crap. They wouldn't give a crap about sovereignty. If Ukrainian sovereignty was in any way detrimental to America, to Lindsey Graham, Ukraine would get it too. But Ukraine is part of the security apparatus here. You just gotta have missiles. You just have to have missiles at the border of Moscow. You just have to. You just have to have missiles. I'm sorry, but it's just what you gotta do. Oh, but, Putin might want to nuke some stuff. Hey, but it's just what you gotta do. You gotta have missiles right on their doorstep, pointed at them. It's just what you gotta do. So, that's my kind of a bird's eye and accurate view of some of this stuff. And I've jumped into this war stuff a little bit. You're welcome to correct the anchor baby here. 888-775-3773. But what else on this? That's the way she goes, folks. We're going to get to Mark, though. Mark, Los Angeles. Thank you for your call, sir. You're on the air.
Hey, hi, sir. I wanted to thank you, or not thank you, but congratulate you on getting married. I just saw that in the comments. When's your wedding?
That's a conspiracy theory. That's a rumor that Jesse Lee Peterson started.
Oh, okay. I missed.
Don't sound so disappointed.
Oh well, it's a good thing if you did. But anyway,
it might be.
Or you may get married.
I said it might be a good thing. You're saying.
Oh
and,
yeah.
And why do you say you want to see the anchor baby married?
Well, no. I mean, I just thought anybody that gets married, you got to wish them good luck.
Nice.
Because that's a big step. but I guess it wasn't true. But anyway,
it wasn't. Maybe.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I agreed with your last caller, talking about Canada going colored.
Yeah.
You know, diversity. Diversity is poison. Remember that. Diversity equals poison. Canada's on the bad road. This guy that's coming in, Paul Revere.
Yeah.
There's a hope that he may change things.
Is he the apple eater guy?
Yeah.
You would not like some of the things he's been saying about this, though. He's real weak. He's kind of weak. He's kind of got a soft spot for the immigrants.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's a bad thing. I'll have to look into that. But he can't be worse than Trudeau. Trudeau is.
That's not saying much.
Well, I've heard Bolivia. How do you pronounce his name?
Yeah,
Paul
Justin. I don't know how to say his name.
Yeah, but I've heard everything I've ever heard the guy say I liked. But I just wanted to point out.
Sorry, go on.
No. In regards to Russia and the Ukraine, I'm for Russia. And I'll tell you why. I don't care how much money these crooks in Washington gave Ukraine. I'm not going to blindly support their leader, Zelensky. He's a scumbag. He's a money launderer. And guys like Lindsey Graham are getting rich.
Yeah.
Let's look at it this way. Russia doesn't have an illegal alien problem. They're a Christian nation, and I believe the reason Biden and the commies in this country want to make war with Russia is because it is a white Christian nation. And I also want to send shout-outs to Poland and Hungary. Those two countries have accepted 0 refugees. And when illegals cross into their country, they're immediately deported within an hour. They don't play games over there. And of course, the EU, the European Union, hates that because, to me, the European Union are nothing more than communists. Anybody that wants to force diversity on the white majority hates us. And I do have a bit of good news. In Germany and France, conservative, not far right, but center-right conservative candidates won in elections over the weekend. And that's putting fear into some of the commies.
You have some. Wait, what's going on with that? I mentioned it, and I don't know exactly what's going on.
I don't know their names. They put them out on TV. 2 conservative candidates won in both France and Germany. But I don't know about France. It may be too late. If you see Paris, if you look at the streets of Paris today, it's ugly, man. It is ugly. It's all Muslims dressed in their garb. It's everything that we should be fighting 100% to not allow to happen in this country. When Trump did his Muslim ban, that was good for what it was, but it didn't go far enough. And now we got a communist, a creep, Biden, who's letting him in by the who knows how many, by the hundreds of thousands, probably.
2,500 a day now if you go by his executive order.
Yeah, that executive order is meaningless.
Yeah.
But I'm speaking strictly of Muslims, and they are the big threat to the U.S. I don't trust them, and I think they only mean harm. And Russia and China, for that matter, I'm not pro-China. I hate China, but I think we could have worked with Russia. They don't want Muslims in their countries. You know, they know better. You know, I think in China they call them Uyghurs or something like that. And they put them in camps, okay? And in Russia, Putin doesn't want them there. There may be some Muslims over there, but nothing like what we've got there.
It's kind of tense. If I can comment on some of the things you brought up so far, I mean, the immigration in Russia. Yeah, I don't know the details. I don't. It's not like I don't believe you. They had a terrorist attack in March, so they got some problems with immigration. Like they have some problems, like a lot of places.
Well, and I think it's Chechnya is a Muslim region of Russia, and they do have problems there.
Oh wow!
You know, yeah, I think it's Chechnya. I may be wrong about that, but it's one of the Russian states.
Now, on this Putin support, would you say it's only from seeing the evils of Zelensky and all that, or do you have other reasonings for that.
No, I think Russia...
It's simply in opposition against Ukraine and that whole thing?
Well, they're white Christians, and that's why they're hated by our leftist government here in America. They don't want any country to be all white. They don't want any country to maintain its whiteness. Their goal is to destroy the white race. It's been their goal for decades now. And with Biden in power, this puppet, it's really Obama's third term. And
sorry.
Obama...
I'm following so far, but you said it's been their plan to destroy the white race. Who? In this case, you're talking about who?
Well, Biden is the man. He's the puppet of Obama, who's the mastermind of our destruction. Obama is Satan in human form. He really is. Everything about the man is evil. He's running our country now. He's calling the shots on what Biden's doing, and he wants to destroy the white America. Basically, Obama does.
Okay.
And it's going to take some time, but he's working on it. And when all these illegals that have poured in by the millions start having kids and start voting communist, we'll realize who did it, who was responsible, but it'll be too little and it'll be too late.
You think white Ukrainian Christians are getting killed too?
Well, they're getting killed, but and I'm sorry about that. But look at all the white Christians on both sides of the Civil War who were killed.
Well,
or in Germany in World War II, German whites were killing American whites and vice versa.
Yeah. Think about the what did General Patton say about that blockade that starved off so many Germans? That's white on white violence. What did what's that guy named? General Tirpitz. He was like an admiral in Germany. We're talking World War I. He called the World War that was incoming in his time the greatest lunacy of the white races. It's kind of been contentious with the different European nations for a long time. Like Russia, being friends with Russia is a big ask when you look at the big scope of European history. It's got not a single European nation has good things to say about Russia. Kind of like how not a single Asian nation has a good thing to say about the Japanese.
Well, you have to remember the Bolshevik Revolution was in 1917, and I think from 1917 till 1989, the communists ruled in Russia, and then in '89, that changed, and they tore down the wall, and supposedly communism had left, and there are more billionaires in Russia now than any other country. But I think again, the reason for the anti-Russian hatred in this country is because they are a white Christian nation. Another thing about Russia, they very strongly discourage homosexual activity. Whether you call it 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕, whatever it is, or just plain old homosexual perversion, they're against it in Russia. That is not, they don't like it, they don't want it. And in this country, we never did either until they legalized homosexual marriage. It was, well, just leave us alone. It was with the gays.
That's how it started, right?
Yeah, that's how it started. But they're grooming our kids. Now they've gotten to the point where they're able to groom our kids, and we can't say anything about it. And you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. That's the situation with that. But Putin put the brakes on that insanity.
So do you think? Yeah, I've heard some of that stuff too. I can't tell how. I can't tell if it's like. I just can't tell how real that is. What I'm trying to say is I see the Christian stuff. I see some of the stats on churches, but I just don't know how, because we have a lot of churches here. We have a lot of people who say they're Christian here. I just don't know how. I've only seen like headlines and stuff coming out of Twitter and RT. So it does seem like what you're saying. I just don't know that they're truly like that, all that Christian and all that. It does. They definitely seem a lot less straight up like, shall we call it, globalist, globalist, LGBT, pride, like that whole thing, that whole vibe, whatever you want to call it. It gets wrapped up and exported to all like NATO countries. Like this is a known thing. So it's definitely strange. It does seem like a different. Here, this is what I want to ask you. Then we can move on. Do you think on white people and all that, you think they're going to go away? Like, what do you think is going on here? there's a lot of talk of, like you're saying, look at Canada, look at the UK. They're having all these babies. So what do you think is going to happen here? Like, are whites going away? Personally, I see cycles happening. I don't know. When I look into stuff, it seems like no peoples have ever really gone away. There's cycles of things. Wondering what you think. Wondering if it's really something to be truly scared about.
I don't think the white man is just going to disappear. What will happen is, as you know, the coloreds become a majority, regardless if they're Muslim, Mexican, whatever they are. When these colored people become a majority in any country, whites will lose rights. For example, in the United States, they don't consider many of our colored brethren don't consider the Constitution to be anything more than a piece of paper written by old white men. They have no respect for the Constitution. They have no respect for the way this country was founded. And the quicker they can wipe us out, either by genocide or keeping us a quiet minority, like your previous caller alluded to. He said the only way to get by is to just blend in and don't make noise. That's what they want here.
I honestly can't so far, I can't disagree with much there, Mark. What do you think about this? On that point you're making, you know, these people, it's just a piece of paper that old white man wrote. Would you say that the majority of white people think like that as well? Like the whites themselves?
The indoctrinated college kids are definitely thinking that way. You see, now I'll just be brief on this because I know you got to move the wheels.
Thank you.
But after World War II, or while World War II was on, we allowed a lot of Russians to come over here under the guise of seeking asylum, you know, from Stalin, and many of them were communists and taught in our universities. And that it was back in the 40s when this communist garbage got into the university. You know, there was a man named Herbert Marcuse. He was a Russian communist.
Is he dead?
Pardon me?
Is he dead?
Yeah, oh yeah, he died a long time ago. But he left a legacy. Yeah, he left a legacy of evil in our educational system. This ratty communism, this filth.
Does this have to do with some of that Frankfurt school stuff?
Yeah. They are basically the people who modeled the indoctrination of our college kids. And this goes back to the 40s and 50s. Joe McCarthy, I don't know if you know who that was, the honorable senator from Wisconsin, was exposing these demons at the college level, these professors that were red. But he died suddenly, mysteriously, about a year after his investigations began, because they didn't want people to expose communism. And the FBI and our, three-letter organizations, they've aided and abetted this takeover. Let me just make a prediction for the rest of this year. I think by the time November gets here, regardless of what happens to Trump, the deep state, working with the illegal alien criminal invaders, are going to rig this next election. That's the prediction.
Whoa.
No, next election, not the last one. I don't want to.
I don't know about that either.
Well,
Sir.
no, we don't know what's going to happen here in 24 in November.
But you don't know. You're right. You're just making a prediction and all that. Yeah. But those are the kind of things we don't want to mess with, because the robots could tell, man. The robots could tell when you're talking about that stuff. So you got to protect this channel. You got to protect this channel. It's not about censorship or free speech, and we got to protect this channel. And you might disagree. People listening might disagree. Oh, you're shit. Whatever. I don't care. I am protecting this channel.
Okay, then let's just look at it this way.
I don't know anything about any elections like that.
Okay, but I do believe, and I don't think this will get anybody in trouble. I think they're going to make a way. And I just heard a lady on the internet this morning saying that they're working it out. They're trying to work it where states, particularly the red states, are not going to be allowed to ask potential new voters their immigration status. Now, they're prohibited.
There's been a push to make illegals vote and stuff.
That's what I mean. And that's where the conspiracy is. And who's going to protect these criminals? The local police aren't. It's going to be the Fed. The federal government is public enemy number one. Now, that shouldn't get anybody in trouble. That's my opinion.
Thank
I
you,
believe
sir.
that the federal government is public enemy number one. They're doing everything they can to take away states' rights, and they're putting in well, I don't want to get. I was going to say something about the election, but
well, thank you, Mark. Thanks for understanding that. Yeah, thanks for understanding.
Well,
Not everything is important to say. Some people, some things are important to deal with and all that, but my thing is a little different. Look, Mark, I want to ask you real quick, and then I'll let you go. Did you ever answer that question? What happened with the whites? That you agreed with me, right? That many of the whites themselves see this Constitution as just a piece of paper that old white people wrote. What do you think happened with them?
Oh, they'll be right. They'll be enjoying the destruction of our race until it hits them.
Ooh.
For example, in New York City, whites are under attack everywhere. Crime's out of control. I just saw a video this morning. These Venezuelans are renting these electric bikes. They're running people off the sidewalk. And one of them was brought to justice this weekend. He got smacked into by a bus and he got slaughtered on the street. But they're doing what they want. And the white liberals in New York right now are paying the price. Most of the whites in New York City are liberal. And I don't care really what happens. If the coloreds rob them, I don't want that to happen. But it's sort of justice.
I understand what you're saying, Mark. We don't wish harm on anybody, but you're speaking clearly. Thank you for that, Mark. We're going to move the wheels on this. Can you call me again?
I will. Thank you, sir.
No, thank you. Call me again. 888-775-3773. Well, what did I ask him? Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's going to come down on everybody. I mean, everybody gets hurt. Everybody loses here with what Mark is talking about. However you may take it, how he's saying it, I'm just saying everybody loses here with what he's talking about. And the communist infiltration of our institutions is at this point kind of if you ask some people like Bill Lockwood, a pretty well documented thing. Okay, this communist capture of the schools and our institutions. It's just true. What else here? I mean, did Mark say just desserts? I mean, there's like a whole story here where there's many parts to the play. And invade, how should I put this? The changes in borders, demographics, land, and all that don't just... here's what I want to say. For all the talk of puppet masters and powerful, wealthy overlords, and I know I'm using language that's funny here, but look, politicians, leaders, for all the talk of that, and I'm not being obtuse about that or ignorant, like there are literal criminals that run our government and are happy to see this insanity happen. But for all that's happening, you can't do that. You got to remember this. This is an important point. You can't do that to a populace that is, you can't do that to them unless they allow it, in a sense, okay? This changing of, this waning and of borders and culture and all that. That politicians can do this, it's only because the conditions are ripe to allow it. And the conditions I'm talking about is the degenerate state of the American individual. Okay? To even think about any of what I'm talking about is just, that's not even in the realm of issues or anything to even think about. You understand? You can't do that to a moral populace. You just can't. The conditions are ripe. Okay. What else? Call 888-775-3773. Can't remember. Let's move on. What else did I have here? Russia, Putin, old ukes. That's how I wrote that. Old ukes. talking about the old Ukrainian recruits. Old Ukes. Oh, check this out. Because, they're congratulating me for getting engaged, for getting married. In fact, I got a super chat from Carver here who says, the Gonzalez Southern wedding, June 19th, 2025, RSVP. So apparently I'll get married to Lauren Southern on Juneteenth. I'm getting married to the old cheese who's got kids. The already was married. I'll get married with the Lauren Southern next year in Canada on Juneteenth. You don't want to miss it. RSVP to the wedding. What a mess. Thank you, Carver, for the super chat. I'll let you know on all that, give you the update, and invite you all and all that. But where did I want to go with this? Men and women being dumber. This is the biblical question for this week a little bit. I'm leaning men. I'm leaning men with it. I get the IQ arguments, separate chess leagues and all that. The men, the top, men or women they're just different physically, right? Just like physically. That's why you have different sports. But when it comes to the mind, well, that's where the line gets blurred, right? But actually you have male and female chess leagues. IQ, when it comes to IQ, men actually the dumbest. They're actually the smartest and the dumbest. Women kind of remain in a sort of average in the center. But when it comes to men, they hit all parts of the graph. And if you want to get the lowest IQ, it's a man somewhere. And the smartest IQ, it's a man somewhere. So, yeah, I get it on all that. But where's all this IQ? Where's all this IQ when society's falling apart? We're talking about hundreds of years of, they're talking about chivalry and different things, and some of my callers have educated us on some of those things. Fascinating. But on all that, have men just been dumb for hundreds of years? Has it just been that since the beginning? I mean, he was fooled by the first one. Man was fooled by the first one. Are we just to follow that story, doomed to repeat the cycle until one overcomes and forgives and breaks the cycle, returning to the Father? Could it be? So the question remains, men or women, who's dumber? Who's dumber? And I'm leaning men, like I said earlier, just because of, like I said, where's all that IQ? Where's all the smarts and the strength? And when people are miserable, men don't know what that is. They don't know that the antidote to their weakness, depression, their sadness, their being subject to, they're not realizing their masculinity is something they've kind of turned away from. The antidote to all those things. So who's dumber? It remains. Who's dumber? When you can fool them. You can fool them just for a little bit of mama love. Okay. Who's dumber, men or women? I'm sure we'll talk about it as the week goes on. Anybody know about the sundress question, though? The sundress question. Midwit. Are we talking about midwits in the chat? Kale Samogi with the super chat says, congrats to Nick and Lauren Southern. The rumor continues. I am marrying Lauren Southern. I don't want to do that. I really don't want to do that, but the chat is making this reality. I don't want to marry Lauren Southern. Please don't make me do it. Please don't make me do it. Okay, thanks, chat. 888-775-3773. Where was I? Sundress. You know this term a little bit. A dress you wear in the sun? I don't know. That's how I saw it. What the heck do I know? They say that when you see a lady, when you see a woman in a dress and the sun shines and it's something very eye-catching to the men, and it's a meme at this point. Oh, a young woman in a sundress. I don't even know the meme. I just see that a lot. Okay, isn't that that's the whole thing, right? That men really like that. So apparently, there's this sundress thing has ignited a controversy. Not unlike the shopping cart before it. Not unlike the trains before that. We're talking about sundresses now. To some, the evidence of a girly girl. What's the whole thing with the sundress? Someone help me here. Pretty and modest. Okay, I get it. So the whole sundress thing is it represents pretty, modest, girly. Is that fair? That's what the whole sundress thing is? Jesus loves sundresses, apparently. Feminine, classy. Okay, chat is helping me out here. And fellas like them, okay? Or whatever. Okay. Not all sundresses, apparently. Okay. They say many a sundress has ended with a shall we say, a life, a baby. Many a sundress has been the catalyst for a baby, they say. So on Sundress Gate, they're calling it Sundress Gate. It's starting a controversy, apparently. And we're going to try and understand this. Why women are fighting other women on this sundress thing. See, apparently the guys like it. It's like a simple thing. I haven't even thought about it much. Sundress, pretty girl, okay, nice. But the ladies are fighting each other. They're fighting each other over this a little bit. Does this hashtag have anything to do with that? Hashtag not all sundresses? Is this some of this fight? Maybe it's not. But we got some even conservative ladies. They're on Twitter and they're talking to each other about this sundress thing. And they're saying there's no such thing. Some are. Some are like, can you please, fellas, can you please tell us what a sundress is? Someone explain, because I've never seen one, say some ladies, okay? They're being all obtuse. They're being all obtuse about it. Okay. Let's see if I can make this clear for you. Whatever. I don't even know the controversy that much. I guess the controversy centers around like how women how women are supposed to act and behave is a little bit of the vibe I get. The same way the shopping cart really wasn't about the shopping cart, but it was about people's behavior. The sundress question is similarly about that, but it's not so clear. You got to speak woman or something. Look, it's not so clear. Look, and they're saying, so some ladies are on Twitter and they're all like, so fellas, how about you tell us what it is? Because I've never seen one. They're saying, can you post photos of yourself in your flattering dresses? Because some ladies are saying they're not flattering. They're not nice. And, the ladies are, is this catty? I don't know. Can you, Brittany Martinez, I don't know her. I know she's sort of conservative on Twitter. Can you post photos of yourself in your flattering dresses? The sarcasm spilling out, because I know a little bit about this. Christiana says, I just did hearts Okay, we just have different tastes in clothing, says Brittany. Oh, if you're into unflattering dresses, I love that for you, says Christiana. Again, the sarcasm just, I don't know. Is it because I had sisters growing up? I don't know. Am I reading into something I shouldn't be? If you're into unflattering dresses, I love that for you. Wow, mean girls. Everyone has different tastes. Mine is shaped by a career in fashion, stylish friends who are supermodels, and brands like Zimmerman, Realization Par, Reformation, Spell. Australia has my favorite right now. Target, Marshalls, etc. is popular for... Okay, so she's all into fashion. She's like, whatever, you wear your dumb dresses that the boys like. I'll get all gussied up, fashionista, because that's for me. I'm adding to it, but Seasonal Clip Farm Worker on Twitter is here to maybe lend some insight on the whole sundress question. And I do appreciate Seasonal Clip Farm Worker for this person's commentary on this, because to me, and maybe to you, it's going to offer some insight in the pick-me mindset here and why women are fighting about this. You know, I was never going to do the work and figure this out. Seasonal Click Farm Worker worked that out for us. It's like me becoming an expert on the WNBA. I'm not really an expert on the WNBA. But on the sundress question, we might have a little insight here on what's going on. The thing to understand about Sundress Gate is that obviously men think women look cute in sundresses, and most women find it threatening to their core sense of identity and agency if they overtly wear something men like. Ladies in the chat, let me know if she's on it. If it's much more important that their female friends like their choices, and anything girly risks the wrath of her friends for pick-me behavior. To appeal directly to male sexuality without first going through the filter of female consensus is traitorous to the sisterhood. Take a look at this image. What you have here are two warring social dominance strategies. One woman attempts to mog with a direct appeal to male sexuality, and another woman mogs by stepping in to punish with consensus judgment of women and gays. Owned. We needed another woman, if we can assume that this Twitter person is a woman. We needed another woman to decipher that for us, and I think we all might be a little bit better for it. Do you guys agree or no? Do y'all agree or no? Are we dumber for it? Are we dumber or smarter now? Because I think there's maybe some truth here. In that's why girls call other girls pick-me's. I never quite knew. I know that they didn't quite like that those girls were getting male attention. Maybe this is a little closer to the truth here. Maybe we should be pro pick-me's. I'm pro pick-me girls now after this. If a pick-me girl is just because she's going straight to the guys and not going through the girls to get to the guys. And so she's okay with being girly. She's okay with being delicate and a girl. I don't know. I'm radically pro pick me after this. Where are my ladies in the chat? Nick pro pig me now. Pick me girls are usually masculine. You mean like tomboyish? That just means they were close. They had brothers and like a good dad. That's not so bad. I don't really know, folks. We're just messing around. It's this interesting thread. Getting the mind juices flowing on a Monday. Getting the mind juices flowing on a Monday. Thinking about things. Did we get through all the stuff I wanted to get through here? I think so. This was a more lighthearted take here. Sundress Gate. It's like men and women just hate each other. Like, it's just control systems and manipulation and games. And who's better, whose looks better, whose seems better. Anyways. Nick is pro polygamy. Amazing. No, stop with the rumors. Stop with the rumors. It's enough with the rumors. What a mess. Let's see here. As we end the show, last few minutes of the show, thank you for being with me on this fine Monday. Thank you for the coffees and everything. Right on, folks. Appreciate the support. BuyMeACoffee.com/anchorbaby. We're going to get to one last call here, I imagine. Yeah, I think here. But before that, we got a super chat from Moon Cricket Stinks. He says, Nick would marry a single mother. Whatever. Whatever, guys. Thank you for the super chat. Moon Cricket Stinks. Let's get to Flor out of Guatemala. How you doing, Flor? On the air.
Hi, Nick. How are you?
All is well, Flor.
That's awesome. Happy Monday.
Thank you. You're in Guatemala, right?
I am in Guatemala. Soon I will be in America.
That's right.
A month.
That's right. You'll be in America with your husband.
With my husband. I'll finally see him. And I'll wear a sundress.
What's the whole sundress mean?
The sundress is...
What's all the meaning behind it?
It's a girly thing. It's like if you feel confident enough to wear a sundress, wear it. It just doesn't have to be vulgar, but sundresses, I don't know. I feel like my husband will appreciate seeing me in a sundress, and not in some baggy pants and baggy shirt and, I don't see how it is a bad thing.
Is it true that women are like this Twitter person said? They judge each other if you appeal to men directly?
Look, a woman will judge each other either way. That doesn't matter. We're evil. We're evil like that, We have to control our thoughts in that way because it's like in our system. We women are very judgmental towards each other, but it's like a competition thing in the woman nature that we kind of like when you are or when you're very mature or you just simply don't have God in your heart, you just want to judge another woman and because you want to be better. You want to be better looking. You just want to be more appealing to the men, right? But, I mean,
doesn't that sound kind of like, maybe, hopefully you understand me. Doesn't that sound gay? Like, how do I put this? It sounds pretty homosexual in that, doesn't it feel like very competitive in the fashion? How am I I'm trying to put my thoughts together here. I'm getting these vibes of gay guys in fashion being all competitive and snarky and all that, and seeing women like totally latch up with that and making friends with that. And that's why the fashion stuff is they're not liking the sundresses. They're taking all their pointers from their female friends and gays. I think it's gay.
I'm not really sure if I'm understanding you.
I'm sorry.
A little bit more.
I'm sorry, Flor. I just threw my insanity at you and you're being a total sweetheart. Let's don't worry so much about that commentary. I'm following you on the sundress. I think your husband would like that. When are you like set to be returned to your husband or to be with him? I'm not trying to pry into your personal life if you can't say.
Oh no worries. Well, I'm just waiting for the embassy to give me back my passport with the visa stamp in it. And they said that it can take up to 90 days, and this is the second month. So I'm hoping...
So have you ever met him?
Yeah, we met in the States, and we got married in the States.
Yeah, you guys got married in the States, you said?
Yeah. We were together for,
gotcha.
Physically together. We were together for a few years.
Oh, okay.
When you have a life without God, it gets complicated.
I was wondering if you had never met each other.
No, oh my goodness, no, I would never do this for anybody who I have never met.
Now, because out of curiosity, Flor, maybe this is purely because I have a female from Guatemala marrying an American man calling me, and for no reason other than that. What do you think about someone telling, like advising an American guy, hey, like in general, like for the general person, wouldn't it be good advice to say, hey, a foreign female here, you might be adding even more trouble than you expect?
I can understand why they're saying that, because I feel like the majority of Latinas don't have a good intention to why they want to get married, and also all these illegal criminals going in, showing the worst side of our culture. But I do believe that that everybody in the world, it is entitled to love somebody, right? And fall in love with whoever. Like it just happened that I fell in love with an American guy, you know, but I feel like they are entitled to feel that way. I won't get mad if I hear that comment. Matter of fact, I'm ready to hear that comment.
Right.
But
Sorry.
at the end of the day, it's my life that I chose, and I'm not going to let a border to stop me from being with my husband. But laws do stop me. That's why we've been waiting for almost 2 years to see each other again, because I wanted to do things in the legal way. Everybody tells me, Flor, jump the border. Biden is giving all the green cards away. And I'm like, but that's just not right. I'm not going to leave the safety of, if you can call it safety, of my homeland. You know, I'm from here. I love my country. For just to be in another country scared that I'm going to get kicked out, or it's just not a life that I aspire to. I aspire to be a good citizen and to give something to the country, not to take from the country, if that makes sense.
Totally. No, I mean, it makes sense to me. Wishing you well big time on that. I love that. That's actually kind of funny. There's a bit there somewhere. I will do anything for love. There's like a comedy bit there somewhere. That's funny, Flor. I'll do anything. I'll do anything. Nothing will keep me apart. But the American law, the law that will, the law and that, however, I must say, is too far for me. That's funny, Flor. There's a bit there somewhere.
Yeah, I just don't want to.
No, it's good. I appreciate that. I think others people get that too.
Yeah, if you want a good outcome out of things, you have to start things right.
Right on, Flor. Well, anything else you want to say here before we move the wheels?
This sundress battle between girls is dumb. We need to support each other.
Jealous.
No hate. Feminist.
Jealous girls. Right on, Flor. Well, call me again.
Well, you have a nice day, okay?
Thank you, Flor. Will do.
Bye.
Nice. Okay, that's the show, folks. That's it from me. I will be back tomorrow with more American Anchor Baby at 12 noon Pacific time. Don't miss the rest of the shows on the network tomorrow. And, of course, Country Western Tuesday on the JLP show, 6 a.m. It's been a pleasure, folks. An absolute pleasure. And I'll be happy to be back tomorrow. But for now, I shall say goodbye. Okay? Okay? Okay. Take care. See you tomorrow. Bye. Oh, little Nick, too. He's got to say bye.